But it's a technique that I learned from watching Kyle Dake and David Taylor. They do this a lot because they run a lot of claw ride, sometimes they'll run it into a half. So the way that we teach how to stop a half is not just look away and peel, but to turn your whole body down. So show them real quick what I'm talking about. He's got a half in. James is going to turn his whole body down. Okay? And then he's going to peel the fingers, and then he's going to walk out. Okay? And that's what you see at the college level. This guy's turning their whole body down. So we have to find a way to combat that. Okay? So this is something I learned from Dave Taylor. Your coach is probably not going to like this. But it's a technique that you can put in your toolbox in case that happens. Okay, so I have the wrist. I've got my half. He's on the mat. He's laying on the mat. Lay down. He starts turning his body. So almost always, this guy ends up getting your hand off his head, and he's walking out. Almost always. So we got to find a way to stop this. So what this requires is you to be quick and to not be afraid. Okay. So we're starting here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my outside knee and I'm going to run it right into his stomach here. So he's turned down. I'm going to run my knee into his stomach. I'm going to take this foot here and I'm going to drive backwards. I'm pulling his wrist to his hips. I'm sucking his body into my chest. I'm going to pull him right on top of my knee here. And now all I'm going to do is take him right over my body, adjust my hips, turn my knees to the ceiling, and I'm in a half tilt here. Okay? Turn this way so you can see. Turn. Okay? So he's turning down hard. And I'm in trouble. So my outside knee is going to go, I'm going to run it right over to his hip. I'm going to pull this over there. I'm going to suck his body to my chest. Okay? I'm going to pull his whole body by pushing off his foot on top of this leg. Here. Now, I haven't scored any points yet. So I'm going to pull him right over top of me here. I'm going to rotate my hips. I'm going to keep my knees to the ceiling. And then I'm going to turn his head down, putting my knuckles to the mat. Now, it doesn't matter what happens here. I'm scoring points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No matter which way he turns, I'm safe now. So if he turns down, I let him turn down. Go ahead, turn all the way. I pose my feet. I take a big jump over, and I finish my half. If he goes the other way, you just roll back through. Okay?
Coach, aren't there like defensive plays though?
Yeah. Well, I'm not asking you to stay on your back in vacation.
Yeah, Gabe.
Well,
You do
how
it
does
up.
work?
You do it up. Yeah, I can do it up.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Coach saying here, I got this.
Just turn it down.
Right, he's turning down. Okay, I'm driving my knee in. And I, with this elbow, I hook it in his hip, and I don't need it. Now, when I do it, I put right to my butt, and I kick up here. It's kind of a different move. It's the same kind of similar thing. Right here, when we bridge, I'm pulling them here. I would look at the mat, touch my head, I'm driving this forward, and bridge off my head.
Now look, here's the thing. Here, he's got him sitting in the pocket. Both of his knees are to the ceiling. His knuckles are to the mat. Okay? He hasn't let go of the wrist. The wrist is in tight. And now he's extending his arm. Okay? You guys understand this? Okay. So it's important that as you rotate through, you're setting him in the pocket right here. Both of your knees are to the ceiling. This wrist is pulled in tight. And now you're straightening your arm here. Okay? You guys understand that? Okay, come back.
Some hits from right here to hold him. This knee right here, his elbow's on the outside of it. If I can pull that in, get my leg underneath it, that helps keep his arm in there. See, I'm not even holding his wrist, and I got his wrist still. Okay? And then the other thing I got is a lot of times they're trying to get this hip down and out. So maybe he's fighting this half hard with this hand, too. Even if I come to here, I just pinch my elbow to his rib, right there, and I can still just. I'm holding his hips in the basket. Is that what you call the basket?
I guess I call him in the pocket.
In the pocket. Even if I go here, if I keep pushing this hip down, he's trying to get this hip out. That could be the difference in me getting my 2 count or whatever. So just know this hip. It's not so much the half. It's this wrist and this hip. I mean, I could just grab his hip and hold him right there. Because most of the time, you're not going to pin him here. He's going to do what I did the first time, roll, coach going to jump over, and then he's going to stick.
Okay, so he's turning down. And this is what every kid is taught to do, turn it down. Okay, so I'm gonna run this knee up to the hip, and use this foot to drive, pulling it into my body. Okay, and all I'm gonna do is pull it over this leg. I'm rotating through, setting him in the pocket. I'm pinching this in tight. I'm getting my body in position. I'm straightening my arm. I'm showing my knuckles to the mat. And then every once in a while, you'll get a guy who will rocking chair and jump to the other side. And you have to come back through and finish your half. But if he rolls the other way, you let him roll, you post your head, you jump to the other side, and you finish your half. You guys understand that? You guys understand that? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.